Welcome to an episode of Loose and Lazy. Today we're going to be showing the lazy way to stretch out your side body, your hip flexors, and your abdominals. And we're going to be using one of these stretchy balls. If you don't have it, you can use an ottoman or stack up some pillows. If you've got a big thick blanket, you could even do that. But we're going to work with the ball today. Additionally, blanket we've got rolled up is going to make it easier to maintain our balance. So we're just going to take that, wrap it right around the ball here, and then we're going to be doing the side body. So taking a nice gentle stretch over the ball. And you can see I've got my legs stretched out, I've got my arms stretched out. Your bottom leg and your bottom arm are just going to help balance, as is that towel that we've got rolled up in the bottom there, the blanket. And you just want to get nice and loose, just laying here all lazy like. And the thing you want to focus on is you don't want to be curled up around here. You want to make sure that the arms come in as close to directly over your head as you can get it, and that your shoulders opening and stretching. And you also want to make sure that your bottom arm and your bottom leg, even though they're balancing you a little bit, you don't want to have them active. You really want to let them relax because as soon as you start pushing into the ground, you tense up your body, and that's not the lazy way to do things. Whew. And this is great because we can just lay here and let gravity do all the work for us. And just keep softening. You might need to roll a little bit, you might need to adjust a little bit. I know for myself, my front of my body tends to be tight, and so I have to roll back just a little bit. Bend that bottom leg, and then once you get nice and loosened up, I like to stretch out to make sure that my arm and my foot are as far away as possible. And you're basically just melting yourself over the ball. I feel like I'm rolling a little forward, so I'm just going to move back here a little bit, trying to stay over the center of the ball. And they do sell these balls that have sand in them, or you can put sand in one if you already have it, and that helps it stay stable a lot longer, a lot easier. Yeah, and you can start this stretch anywhere from 40 to 60 seconds. I've been working these for a while, so I'll take them up to a couple of minutes. And what I do is after I've been laying there for a little bit and everything feels nicely stretched up, you do a little what's known as a CRC. So you're contracting the muscle, and then you relax, and then you contract. So I'm not actually doing this motion, but I'm engaging like I'm doing this motion. And then you let it back down. So you can actually do the motion, it works pretty well. Just requires a bit more balance. So you're just laying here, and then you engage your side body and your arm and your leg like you're going to lift up, and let it sink back down. One of the things I find with the body is that it's not particularly good at just letting go, but it's very good at doing a gentle contraction and then a big relaxation. So gentle contraction and then really slowly melt into that release. The slower you release, the farther your body's going to let you relax into it. And then up. You can see my foot's not even coming off the ground, but I am engaging like I'm going to lift it. And slow release. And then just do a couple of nice, satisfying breaths. Start with a really deep exhale. Let all the air out of your body. And then inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And you might notice that the inhale and exhaling is very similar to the contract, relax, contract, because it's essentially what your body's doing. Is it's filling up and it's stretching everything, and then as you exhale, it's letting it all go. Great. And let's just take that, and we're going to switch to the other side. Now, I like to do the side bodies before I do my back bend, and that is for a very specific reason, is that when your side body is tight, it acts like a cinch and it kind of holds you usually a little bit forward, and it puts a lot more stress into the spine when you're trying to stretch and your back bend and your side is still tight. So if you do your side bends, open the side body up. And I need to get a little bit higher up on there. Then when you go to do your back bend, it's really supple and soft. It's super easy to get into. And again, just getting loose while being lazy. I love these because you can be watching Netflix, you could have a book on the ground you're reading, you can do it during your meditation time. I'll have friends over, we'll just hang out, everyone's stretching, kind of go through different stations. So this doesn't have to detract time from anything else you're doing in life. You can just fit it in wherever. And then a little bit of the contracting up. And let it go. And I really enjoy doing these in the morning so the rest of my day is really limber and loosened up, and then my walking feels great, my shoulders are open. And then during the evening, I'll do another round of these just to get out anything I built up during the day. And you do these for a week or two, you really start to feel your body loosen up. Because it's getting into the IT bands, it's getting your lats, your obliques, up into the shoulders. And just keep remembering to try to see where you can relax a little bit more. Where can you get a little lazier and just let gravity do the work for you? Oh, feels so good. And it's, yeah. And once you've really got yourself open, you check a couple of different areas. I often like to be back a little ways to get the front of my hip open, but at the top, if you get really nicely stacked, you'll get right into the top of that hip joint. And you're trying to see if you can find a spot where you feel the pull, essentially from your fingers all the way down to your toes. And that's going to be a slightly different angle for everybody. So you might be a little forward, you might be in the middle, you might be a little bit back. Play around with all those. Check them out. All right, now we're going to come and we're going to do the back. So I'm going to flip the blanket over so that we can roll into our back bend, but we still get that side balance. And when you're starting off with the back bend, you want to make sure your head's supported the whole time. So put your head right on the ball and come into a nice bridge position and just slowly start to roll back so you get the feel of what it's going to be like. Remember, keep the head relaxed on the ball the whole time. Your arms can be pretty much anywhere. Get them out over heads really nice. Just kind of sink into this. The important thing is that you want your spine to have a curve that's soft and against the ball. If at any point you feel like it's starting to like really back bend and crunch you, you're too deep in and you're just not quite ready for that yet. So be a little lazier, come out a little bit, just hang out. If all you're getting is the neck and the shoulders and the top of the diaphragm, that's great. You let your knees go in, you can let your knees go out. You can straighten your legs, just have your heels on the ground. Whatever feels like you can really melt onto the ball, that's all that matters. Just staying lazy, letting your body loosen up because gravity's doing it. And play with your arms, put them in some different positions, let them just stretch out. Great. Even right down here by your sides is good. And then if you want, you can roll into it deeper. Again, keeping the neck soft. So I can come all the way back to here, get my hip flexors going. And the important thing is that there's no weight on my head at all. I'm not pushing into the ground to hold myself. I'm not putting my body weight on my head. The ball has all the weight. My neck is super relaxed. It's got a really gentle curve, and my head's just resting on the ground. You can put your arms up overhead. Sometimes that makes it a little bit easier. And you get a really nice stretch out there too. And you can just keep playing with it. Just find the spot that your body really seems to have that tension. It really can also relax into. We're not trying to find the most intense. We're trying to find the best balance between getting the tight spots and getting into the spots that our body can softly melt into. If you wanted some deep opening, we could go into some Iyengar yoga or Ashtanga. This is just a lazy practice. We can be looking up at our TV, watching Netflix, having a conversation. And you can do this whole sequence in 3, 4 minutes. You don't have to spend 15 minutes doing it. I just really like to take the time, let my body sink in, check some different angles, make sure everything's relaxed as much as it can. Because, like I said, you do this early in the morning, and your whole day feels so much softer and looser and more gentle. Do it at night, and you undo all the tension of the day. So just come out of there, put that stuff off on the side, and after you do deep stretches, it's always good to do a little bit of mobility. Hello, ball. And just move that spine a little bit. These would be your cat cows from yoga. And get whatever kind of motion in there feels really good to you. It's also really nice to do this after, before and after, and feel the difference and see how much more open your shoulders and your spine are. Now, thanks for joining me today for some loose and lazy for the hip flexors, side body, a little bit up into the shoulders. Check out the rest of the videos and find out how to open up the rest of your body. And if you're looking for something a little more vigorous one of the days, you can also check out my mobility minutes. Those are somewhere between 5 and 15 minutes usually, and they show you how to isolate specific areas that people tend to have trouble with mobility using some stuff you probably have around the house and get yourself back into optimum physical mobility. I'm Neil Solomon. Have a wonderful day.